Good morning, this is Kamera again. We're on day number 140, 2nd Chronicles, chapter 35 and 36. These are the last two chapters in 2nd Chronicles, and Josiah is still king. Remember, Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he followed the Lord faithfully, encouraged the people to turn their hearts back to God, and currently he's working on the Passover. So he has this huge Passover celebration. The Bible actually is specific in everything that he does to prepare for this celebration, with the Levites, the priests, the unleavened bread, the burnt offerings, everything. The Bible says there hasn't been a Passover like that since the prophet Samuel. No other king celebrated the Passover such as this. And he included all of Judah and the remaining Israelites. Remember, Israel's already been exiled, but this was a huge celebration. And so the 18th year, fast forward the 18th year of King Josiah's reign, he finished restoring the temple. Yeah, so get this, fast forward, he goes out to battle. And this is the thing, though. King Necho of Egypt is on his way to battle someone else. He goes up against Necho, and so Necho's like, "Don't interfere. God is the one who sent me to go out and battle, and you need to back off." Josiah doesn't listen. Josiah goes in disguise, and he continues this battle. And so an archer, clearly not knowing who he is because he's in disguise, shoots an arrow up and it hits Josiah. And so Josiah is taken back to Jerusalem, where he dies. And so that was, first of all, the fact that the Lord spoke to Necho. I remember, saying this even earlier on, even though the children of Israel is God's chosen people, God still is God over everything, everyone, and he deals with everyone. Those nations who were evil were the ones who turned their back on God, who did their own things, who served pagans and idols and those things. So there are other people in the world who served God, who listened to God, who followed God. And so, yeah. So Necho, he was obedient to God, and he went out to battle. Josiah interfered, and you see what happened. This is the thing. Everyone mourned Josiah, all of Judah, all of Jerusalem. Jeremiah, he wrote a song. He composed a song for Josiah's funeral. And it said that the choir is right now singing that song. I don't know what that song is, but Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah, comes into play. So get this. Next person in place, his son. His son, of course, evil, and he reigns only 3 months. Yeah. And so Necho takes him and puts him in prison. And so now his brother, Josiah's son's name is, his name started to get confusing. Jehoahaz, yeah, he reigned 3 months, and Necho took him, imprisoned him. And then his brother Eliakim, and Eliakim changed his name to Jehoiakim, and he reigned 11 years. He was evil. Yeah, he was evil. Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, he takes him and imprisons him, and he plunders Jerusalem. Yeah. He takes Jerusalem, and then he plunders it. And so Jehoiakim, he reigned 3 months, 10 days. Nebuchadnezzar takes him and installs the uncle Zedekiah. Zedekiah reigns 11 years. He was evil. He rejected the prophet Jeremiah. All these warnings, rejected him. He rebelled against Nebuchadnezzar. And so at the same time, the priests and the people of Judah, they backslid. Yeah, they turned their back. They became more and more unfaithful. They turned their back on God. They abandoned God. They started doing the pagan practices, and they received repeated warnings from God, and they rejected. They rejected the messages. And so God got tired. Enough is enough. I mean, you guys, you have to read this to see how this whole pattern. You just have to see it. And so the only thing God wants is just a faithful people. He just wants a faithful people. And so it seems like it's hard for people to do that because they just want to do what they want to do, right? That's even now today. Not judging, but it exists. And so God sent Babylon. Babylon goes and they kill all of the young men, all the young women, even in infirms. They kill everyone unmerciful, even the ones who run to the temple. Now they want to believe, right? They run into the temple. Kills them. And they burn down the temple. They burn the temple. I guess they burn it down if they burned it, right? They tear down the wall of Jerusalem. They burn the palaces. Anything of value, they just destroy. They plunder. The remaining survivors of Babylon, they are in exile. They become servants. And it says that they become servants until Persia takes over. And so when Persia came in power, in the first year of Cyrus, King Cyrus of Persia, yeah, great story, because it talks about how God had dealt with him. God stirred his heart to build a temple in Jerusalem. And so, again, that confirms that God talks to everyone. He deals with everyone. It's up to us to obey and follow. It really is. God is a personable God. He deals with all of us. But this man is a man of power, and he sends, he tells everyone, any of the children of Israel, or Judah rather, you guys want to go back to build, that temple, you are welcome to go back. Yeah. So guys, this word is life. This word is truth. Ask God for understanding to it. And again, this was the last chapter of 2 Chronicles, when it talked about the kings. And again, God is God to everyone. He used children of Israel, Judah, they were his chosen people. So of course, the stories of them showed us God and what he expected of us. And it showed the patterns that they went through of following God, rejecting God, turning their back on God, serving pagans, returning to God, all this stuff. And it showed how God had enough, and he allowed them to go into exile. First Israel, now Judah. And now we're going into Ezra. And that's tomorrow, guys. So get this, guys. 140 days. We're on day number 140. 2 Chronicles, chapter 35 and 36. You guys have a God-filled, blessed day.